Hello and welcome. I'm excited to share with you one of the legendary principles for creating the life that you desire. And that's the principle of absolute integrity. Absolute integrity, what does that mean? I believe that we all have almost like this trust account with the universe, where when we do what we say we're going to do, in the time that we say we're going to do it, we make a deposit and we become more powerful. But when we break those commitments and we don't follow through with our words, or we don't make the commitment in the first place, then we become powerless, and it's almost like withdraws from the universe. And I think it happens in relationships as well. What happens, I want you to imagine that you have someone in your life that says, hey, I want to meet with you. Can we go out to lunch and meet at 1 o'clock? And you're there at 1 o'clock, you're excited to see them, you're excited to be with them, and then they're not there. And you're not sure where they are, and 5 minutes pass, and then 10 minutes pass, and you don't hear from them. What goes through your mind when they don't follow through with their commitment and be where they say they're going to be when they say they're going to be there? Well, you probably would feel unimportant. You would probably start to not trust them. You'd probably be a little bit frustrated, and you'd probably feel like they didn't really care about you. Now, what happens if they flake out and don't show up at all and don't even tell you? And this is just an example, but I want you to think, how often have you been that person? Have there been times where you said you were going to do something and then didn't follow through? And what happens to that relationship when you do that? It becomes this massive withdrawal. And so one of the aspects of creating transformation and change in your life is making firm commitments. And when you say yes, you say 100%, hell yes, I'm going to make that happen. And if you're not, then say no. So you're either 100% in or not at all. And that's okay too. One of the most important things in developing this muscle of absolute integrity is learning the power of saying no. If it doesn't fully align, if it's not a hell yes, then it should be a hell no. You should only do those things that align with your soul, align with your purpose, align with your mission, align with those things that light you up. And let's face it, a lot of us are recovering people pleasers, right? Where we say yes to things that we don't really want to do because we don't want to hurt them. But notice, when we say yes to someone, and so we say, yeah, I'll do that, but we don't really want to, and we do it half-assed, what happens to that relationship? Yeah, it doesn't really build it, does it? It's not really honoring them or honoring you, because then if you're half-assing that, you're half-assing other things too, because you don't have the full energy to put into it. And so when you say yes and you do it, then all of a sudden it honors the relationship. But I want you to notice also the power of no. And if it doesn't align, where you can say in a positive way, say, thank you so much for asking me, but that's not going to work right now. I've got some other commitments, but I'm sure you'll find someone to do. I love you so much. Notice how a no can actually build the relationship if it's done in a powerful way, because then they learn to trust you. Then they learn that when you say yes, you really mean yes. And then as you do this, you also learn to develop this sense of trust within yourself. And this is the most important thing, because you got trust with the universe, you got trust with others, but the most important form of trust, the most important currency of transformation is you being able to trust yourself to do what you say you're going to do. So when you say, yeah, I'm going to achieve this goal, or I'm going to make this happen today, or I'm going to do this today, I'm going to wake up at this time, whatever it is, you know that your word is good as gold, that you are solid in your commitment, and that you follow through in what you say you're going to do. And when you do this, then you have the most important key required for transformation and creating results. Now, how do you build this muscle of absolute integrity? Here's the secret. The secret is micro commitments. It's practice. Leverage things as a practice. I'm going to invite you to make the practice today a simple thing. A simple practice of saying you're going to be there at a certain time and making sure you're there, being deliberate about being on time. Just practice it. Now, let's admit it, we're not always perfect. Sometimes we're going to have the best intention. Sometimes we're going to say we're going to do something and life happens and things unexpected come up and we don't follow through. In which case, the rule of absolute integrity is we do what we say we're going to do in the time we're going to do it, or if we make a mistake and mess up, then we clean it up quickly. And we correct and we apologize to that person and we make sure that we double down on our commitment to follow through next time. But this principle of absolute integrity makes it so that we become conscious of what we commit to and what we don't. So my invitation is practice my micro commitment, be on time, and maybe these other micro commitments in your life too. Maybe it's waking up at a certain time, or maybe it's just going to the gym and just doing it because you said you were going to do it. Or maybe it's other things like that that allow you to build this muscle, because when you build that muscle, you become powerful. And when you become that person that lives with absolute integrity, you become unstoppable. Because you know whatever you set your mind to, you'll get it done. Why? Because you've built trust with the universe, with yourself and with others, and you follow through on whatever that is. So live with absolute integrity, do what you say you're going to do in the time you said you're going to do it, or clean it up quickly, and make sure you make this commitment in living your legendary life. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the tribe, show up, share, engage, and just remember, this is your life. So make it legendary.